Oh my gosh, look at this dirty old 553,000 kilometre 1kd. What a filth bag. No, it's actually pretty good, isn't it? Look how clean that is. This thing, mate, it's running like new at 553k. It's going to be running like even newer after this job. And mate, looks like it's just going to go for millions of kilometres. That's pretty good for a crap engine with crap pistons, isn't it? Not too bad at all. Anyway, what I was going to tell you about is the valve clearances. So we've just checked the valve clearances, right? A lot of people think they've got to check their valve clearances, and they still don't listen to me in my videos, and they go to listen to someone else in that big place with a big red sign on it, you know, with the nice shirts and ties. Oh, good morning, sir. You're here for the 60,000 kilometre service. The coffee machine's over there. Make yourself comfortable on the couches there. While you wait, it won't be long. Meanwhile, 4 hours later, it's still sitting in the car park. Anyway, that's another story. This is how it really goes, guys. The valve clearances don't need to be checked. Okay, whether it's ones we've checked or ones people have told us what the valve clearances are when they've got that Coke can over here, you know what I mean, and it just takes all that oil out. Look, it could be a coincidence. Let's just call it a coincidence to save any argument. It's just a coincidence that when you've got a Coke can under your bonnet, and I hope some people know what I'm talking about. Some people are scratching their head trying to work it out, and I say, watch the videos. Anyway, you know, get rid of that abrasive EGR soot that's apparently not abrasive, because we've been told that in the comments as well. But so it's just a coincidence that, you know, when you put the solution in place, this thing's valve clearances are exactly like an engine if we check the valve clearances at 100 or 150 or 200,000 Ks without any modifications, right? And once you've got your correct modification in place, the valve clearances don't change. And as I've said, the risk of contamination to the injectors by bending those fuel pipes back, it's in bold in the workshop manual once again. Don't do it. It's not worth the risk. I've told you, these valve clearances don't go out. Don't check them every 40,000 Ks the way the book tells you to. Check them when you do the injectors, because the injectors are the items that are wear and tear, that control the whole combustion of the engine, that need replacing every now and then, right? So inject information playlist, EGR information playlist. They're your playlists on our YouTube channel, Full Before Diesel, that you need to look at if you want the real accurate info. Now, let me give you a rundown. So this is the exhaust side. Their specifications 0.35 to 0.45. They set them up at about 0.4, and of course they wear in a little bit and they end up somewhere between 0.4 and 0.35 is quite common, and some engines you're going to find 0.33. Okay, now we've found some engines worse than that. Coke can, right? Coke can, do you know what I'm saying? And some people can't afford to do the extra work, pulling the cams out and the buckets and everything. So it goes back together because, you know, let's risk it for the biscuit, because that's, if you can't do anything, if you haven't got the money, you need the car back, then that's what happens. And that's happened. So the point is, there's some valve clearances that have been left like that. And as we learn over the years, we've learnt that it makes no difference to your fuel economy, your power, when it's that small amount of difference. Now, of course, when it becomes greater, it can make a difference. But while you've still got that amount of clearance, happy days, right? Check it with a cold engine. Over this side, all about 0.33. Is that what you say? 0.33? Yeah, that's what it was. So they're technically a little bit, because spec is minimums 0.35, 0.33, whatever. 0.33 at 553,000 kilometres. Now, over on the inlet side, they're set up at, if I to test my memory, minimum's 0.25, maximum's 0.35. So they're set up at about 0.3. Quite often we find, is that right? No, I just said that wrong. No. The spec is 0.2 to 0.3. So they're set up at 0.25, and quite often we'll find them anything from 0.25 down to 0.23, 0.22, 0.21, even down to 0.2. Every now and then they're under, and guess what? It's quite common to have one or two, usually at the back where that stuff comes in, funnily enough, over here at this one here. Anyway, funnily enough, 0.2, 0.18, we've seen 0.17. What's the lowest that you've seen that you can think of out of the hundreds you've checked lately in the last couple of years? What's the lowest you've seen? What do you reckon on the inlet at the back there, you know? It's always at the back, isn't it, on the inlet?
About 0.17.
0.17, there you go. So this is what we're doing about. Look, I've seen 0.15s, and because I've seen 0.06 and the engine ran fine for, a year, and he said, mate, the fuel, thanks for the job, it's awesome. The fuel economy's gone from 14 litres per 100 Ks down to 10 litres per 100 Ks. I'm not going to promise you that. That's just what the client said. Maybe there's some excitement, exaggeration there, funnily enough. But anyway, the point is, that's not going to happen if the engine's running well. But, you know, that one, maybe not so well. Had the can, one of those ones that mounts around here, look really nice and fancy, and really bad valve clearances at 140,000 kilometers. But it's just a coincidence, all right? It's just a coincidence. I'd rather wear a tinfoil hat than a blindfold. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there anyway. Yeah, how do you like that? Some people like that, some people don't. Some people are scratching their head. Anyway, this guy's a bit loony, they're thinking. Well, some days he gets a bit excited. I told you I'm actually a bit grumpy at the moment, so this is pretty good for grumpy, isn't it? Anyway, so pretty clean engine. Regular oil changes, as you can see, highway Ks, second injector change at 553K. I'm going to say it again, you can get away with that if you do highway. I've said it before, watch the injector information plate, it's all in there. You listen to me, it's consistent all the way through for the years we've been doing it, and the proof's in the pudding. You're looking at it right here, you've seen in there, you've seen what's going on here. We show you the results. I'll just give you the right information to look after your engine, right? So bada bing. Valve clearances a little bit out, we're not touching those, they're sweet, they're good for the life of the engine. What's the life of the engine? Bloody forever, mate. Longer than you'll last, the engine will last if you look after it. If you expect too much of a 4-cylinder engine, 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, just checking it is a 4-cylinder, because you wouldn't think so the way you see people towing around these 3-ton caravans behind their big, massive modified Prado with bull bars and brush bars and big tyres and roof racks and fully loaded 6-7 ton later, and they don't even know it. Completely illegal. Not that we're worried about legalities too much. They said to me, you know, all through the C word, I'm not going to mention this video, you know the C word, that thing that happened in 2020, 21, 2022, 2023, and goes on forever really, because it was a bit of a tinfoil hat job. You know, who was wearing the tinfoil hat there anyway? You know, all through that, what was my whole point? What was I talking about? I've lost. I totally just go off topic, don't I, right? So all through that, what was the point? All through that period, yeah, I don't know what I was talking about. I probably need to have a look at my own video. Completely lost it. Have a laugh at that. Okay, so this is looking good. And anyway, I took a moment to think about it. That's right. So all through the C word, what I heard was use common sense. We know common sense uncommon, but it's pretty common here at the Prado Hospital. We've still got uncommon common sense. Common sense is uncommon. Do you get it? We're going to call it uncommon sense for the rest of the video. So use uncommon sense, even though they said use common sense, because common sense isn't very sensible, you know? Bah, bah, that's common sense. Bah. Anyway, whatever, right? If you're one of them, it's time to wake up and start putting the thinking caps on. That's what this channel's about. Think about it, right? You know what? Things make sense. So anyway, they said to me, use common sense. So I use common sense in everything I do. So careful of those legalities of the heavy towing, but use common sense, because they will let you tow 3 ton behind 2 ton. If your vehicle weighs 2 ton, it's got 3 ton towing. Does that make sense to you to have 3 ton pushing that vehicle? 3.5 ton maybe. Depends what vehicle you're looking at. Might be a bit heavier vehicle then. But the point is, in my opinion, uncommon sense, remember, you should always have the tow vehicle heavier than the trailer, what it's towing. You know, you want the dog wagging the tail, or the tail wagging the dog, mate. The feet are on the ground, hopefully, but if the tail's too big, the dog's going to be flying around, mate. It's going to end up with sore feet, if not land on its face. That's not what you want. That's what's going to happen with the vehicle, right? So you want a 3-ton vehicle with a 2-ton trailer, or a 2-ton vehicle with a 1.5-ton trailer, you know? Back to common sense, people. Forget about the legalities. They said use common sense. It's uncommon, but that's what we need to do. Think about these things. Anyway, back to this engine, right? That's my rant. I've got a playlist called My Rants. If you like this video, you might want to go check those out. I haven't put one in there for a while, but when I start carrying on like this, because I'm grumpy, well, maybe I've put it into that playlist. So hopefully, because I made the playlist for a reason. If you haven't seen that nice, clean intake system in this video, it's because it's in another video. So subscribe, turn the bell on, all that jargon. Right, now let's have a closer look at this engine, because we've seen these engines in the crappy 1kd-ftv version. Sorry, people. You know, I've got one as well, but, you know, it's not for keeps. It's warranty period, and see you later. We've seen them with the camshafts, right? See, have a look how good these camshafts are. Beautiful. They're not going to lose their hardening. Get into the hashtag 1GD forever crew, and it won't be forever, because you can see some of the problems there, but we can't post too much there because people get upset. You know, it's their vehicle. It's not theirs, but, you know, DPF problems, you know, timing chain issues. We said this was going to happen. I mean, a timing chain, it's no maintenance, but then it's major maintenance when it goes wrong. I had problems with those, problems with camshafts. We're talking major mechanical repairs, you know. Oh, you don't have to check the valve clearances, but they've got hydraulic lifters, so it's awesome, it's quiet, you don't have to adjust them. Isn't that great? Until they fail, and then you've got to replace them all, right? You don't have to check the valve clearances on this, because guess what? They don't go out. I just told you that. Timing belt, it's about $100, right? If you want to be cheap about things, it's $100 you can change your timing belt. Timing chains, major work, expensive components. This engine is awesome, and when you're driving them, you can feel the cubic displacement, 3 litre, is much better than 2755cc, even with the remap, because I've got one so I'd know it. What's the matter, mate? You got a bit of allergies there, a bit windy today. Now everybody knows what day it is. What day was it windy in Melbourne? Anyway. All right, people, that's it. That's my rant. There's your information. Hope you liked it. Smash the like button, and we'll catch you on the next video. See ya.